5-minute qualifying sessions, a second chance heat. We now go to the 27th, hang on a second. We're now going to our last race, our last final of the weekend. Senior Rotax closes the show. A capacity grid, well, was a capacity grid. Here it is. 35 drivers, as Dave Blom is a non-starter this time around. On the front row is Sean Butcher from Great Britain. Alongside will be Mike van Vugt from the Netherlands. Dylan LaHaye and Lewis Gilbert will round out the top two rows. Ahead of Luca Leistra from Belgium and Mads Ries from Denmark. Fabian Bock and Andreas Hebel from Germany and France, respectively, complete the top four rows. And completing the top 10, it's an all-Belgian row 5. Ilian Brunsils and Jules Castro. Then it is Bradley Barrett, Lara Zanen, Teresa Babikova, Justin Polman, Robin Knutsson starting in 15th after having come through via the second chance heat earlier on today. Ben Burgess, Kian Sang, Baz Janssen, Victor Plateau, Arthur Horsch, Flint Schuring, Vincent France, Vincent van Kerkhoff, Emilian Koppens, Lachlan Robinson starting down in 25th position. Jordi van der Eyck, Emily de Hoys, Clementine Benoit, Scott Westhovens, Manel Galofritano from Spain, rounding out the top 30. Mario Sidler, Jeff Machiels, Anthony Boulou, Storm Broer, and Alexander Bentley. Unfortunately, Alexander was had a disqualification due to a technical non-conformity. The 3:44 of Milan Koppens had a short-cutting time penalty awarded of 5 seconds. The 3:60 of Vincent France had a 5-second time penalty added after causing an avoidable collision with multiple drivers falling foul of front-fairing penalties, adding 5 seconds to their times, their race time after the pre-final. So, top 10 is as follows. Butcher, Van Vugt, LaHaye, Gilbert, Leistra, Ries, Bock, Hebel, Brunsils, and Castro. Now, this is the grandstand finale. They come into the tram lines. Red lights go out. We are off and racing down to turns 1 and 2. Senior Rotax off and away, and round the outside, Mads Ries trying to keep himself into P4 going into turn 3 for the first time. Drivers nearly 3 abreast at the back part of the field. Everyone makes it through at the minute. And I stress those words at the minute because anything, as we saw in the first final, I'm seeing is Bradley Barrett trying to do an outside overtake as he nearly gets a little bit of contact there, possibly with Lara Zanen from GKS Lemons Power through turn 6. Top 3 starting to break away, and it is Butcher, Van Vugt, and Gilbert now starting the battle. This is going to be one, I think, that's really going to blow the doors off. As now we have a move up the inside. That was, I think, Jules Castro, I think, making a position up there as well. But now, Lewis Gilbert gets past Mike Van Vugt. 4-second position through turn 12. They've got to keep Sean Butcher in their crosshairs as Gilbert goes for the lead early. Van Vugt gets through 2. Leistra just up behind the Brit from KR Sport. As Leistra looking to see. Now, Leistra's run in the BNL Karting Series before, so he's no stranger to Rotax racing power. He's raced in a multitude of categories. He's also raced elsewhere across continental Europe over the past few seasons. So, at the minute, Dylan LaHaye is behind Mads Ries. No, he's now behind possibly Fabian Bock from Voik Motorsport. So LaHaye looking to, or is that Brunsils? Brunsils was up into P8. I think he got past Bock, then got past LaHaye, and that is the case. Bradley Barrett has made a position or 2 in the process. 11 minutes and 10 seconds still to go on the clock. Leistra was looking to try and slingshot past Van Vugt into turn 1. Van Vugt sends it up the inside of Butcher, retakes second position. Butcher trying to force Leistra out wide, but Leistra to the inside of turn 4, up the inside into P3. Nicely done there. Mads Ries in 5th. Ilian Brunsils from Belgium goes up the inside of the Dane into turn 6. Bradley Barrett up the inside of Dylan LaHaye. Through into position into turn 6 as well. Up into P7. It's two abreast. That was two drivers nearly coming to blows through turn 7 towards the back part of the field. Lewis Gilbert now trying to strike whilst the iron is hot and try and pull away. He's got a gap. Well, he did have a gap on the last lap over Sean Butcher around 0.235 of a second, but Luca Lystra has now got past Mike Van Vugt. Bruinseels now senses a chance. There's still plenty of this race left to go as Lystra goes up the inside of Gilbert to take the lead at the moment. Gilbert's just letting him through, and this is where the mind game starts. This is where the chess pieces all start to fall into place, but it's not with any pawns, any queens, any kings, any rooks or any bishops. It's with Rotax racing engines. So at the moment, Lystra leads, Gilbert in second, Van Vugt in third, Butcher in fourth, Bruinseels, Rees, and then Brad Barrett. Dylan LaHaye in 8th position. 9th position is Fabian Bock. Jules Castro has just lost out, I think, to Justin Pohlmann for P10, which is the case, and Pohlmann looks to be a bit more racier in this last race of the day. So Lystra starting to pull away from Gilbert, as there was a look there. Butcher up into third past Van Vugt, who looks towards the inside. Bruinseels just behind. Rees there, Barrett, LaHaye. Lystra's broken down! Lystra's broken down off of the entrance into turn 3. He's trying to furiously get the kart restarted. And on what was that? Lap number 5, Luca Lystra was leading the race, and that has handed it to Lewis Gilbert. Oh no, that is not what you want. A mechanical breakdown, and he is absolutely frustrated. It's Belgium's Luca Lystra in the 372, but this has given everyone else an opportunity. Lewis Gilbert started from P4. He won a couple of heats yesterday. He actually won, I think, 3, but got a 5-second time penalty, which demoted him to 8th in one of them. But now he has the chance to try and see if he can get one up on everybody else. But obviously the weekend result as Bradley Barrett is now up into P5. He's battling away with the likes of Justin Pohlmann, Mike Van Vugt. Yeah, Van Vugt is actually behind Bradley Barrett. I never thought I'd be saying that in my lifetime at the moment, but there we go. Bradley Barrett now up into P5 on the Sudi Vitesse. Obviously some of his teammates, Charlie Turner's competing at the Kart Masters Grand Prix back at PF International in the United Kingdom as we speak. They'll be coming to the conclusion of 9 finals there, whereas we have a few more races up our sleeve, but not in terms of big finals. So in many respects, this is now going to be a cat and mouse game between the top 3. So it is a British 1-2 at the moment. Gilbert leads. Sean Butcher second. But hot on Butcher's heels is Ilian Bruinseels in P3. Let's see what happens here. Bruinseels looks towards the inside of Butcher. Bradley Barrett looks towards the inside of Mads Rees through turn 2, but the Sudi Vitesse driver decides, I'm not going to chance it yet. There's still 7 minutes and 10 seconds still to go of this race. The gap between Lewis Gilbert and Sean Butcher last time around was just over 0.3 of a second. But now Bruinseels has got past and has put himself in the middle of the two Brits. As Brad Barrett goes up the inside. Nice move up the inside of Mads Rees. Sends the Dane wide and allows Mike Van Vugt to close. As Rees tries to go up the inside, nearly tangles with the back bumper of Barrett. I think there was the slightest amount of contact, but good control there from Brad Barrett to keep the Sudi Vitesse 327. And it's the UK supported team. So they are actually supported by Sudi Kart in France. Run by Bradley's dad, Mark. So obviously they've got guys competing in the United Kingdom, and obviously Bradley is over here with us here at the BNL Karting Series. But he's now got himself up into 4th place in this final. Gilbert not getting away from Bruinseels. 6 minutes on the clock plus an additional lap. Still to go. Of course, every single result that has been called by myself on the live stream and also on the Circuit PA is a provisional result, pending any sporting and any technical checks. But now we get to the last 5 3/4 minutes of this race. Gilbert leading by about a cart length and a half over Ilian Brunsils. Over the line to start lap number 9. Brunsils takes the lead from Gilbert quite quickly there. I'm just going to have a look behind on the lap times of the likes of Bradley Barrett and Mads Rees and Mike van Vugt. Brunsils is the quickest out there. He was 21 thousandths quicker than Sean Butcher on that lap and took the fastest lap of the race as Lewis Gilbert now gets past Ilian Brunsils. Through into turn number 7. So the Potenza Racing Engines driver from Dollery in Ayrshire in Scotland now leading. Lap 9. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go on the clock, plus an additional lap, a move up the inside. Oh, now that was possibly on Kian Sang, maybe the Milan Coppens that got up the inside of the Brit there. So nice little work there from the 344. It's up the inside. There's another positional change. I think that was Justin Pohlman. Again, swapping positions. Possibly this time with Dylan LaHaye, maybe. That might be the case because just behind Dylan is Jules Castro. Then you got Fabian Bock. Teresa Babikova now up into P11. Vincent France, Andreas Hebel, Milan Coppens and Buzz Janssen ran out the top 15 positions. As Mads Lees now gets back past Brad Barrett for P4. Top 3 have a gap, a considerable gap. So Sean Butcher, when he is currently in 3rd place. The gap between him and when it was Bradley Barrett in 4th position on the last lap around when they started lap number 9 was nearly 9/10 of a second. Leaders now coming through into turn 12. 3 minutes and 50 plus an additional lap to go as Gilbert goes back up the inside of Brunsils to take the lead. Butcher now in the slipstream of Brunsils. Let's see if the Brit goes up the inside into turns 1 and 2 here at Genk. Butcher decides against it for the minute. Again, the strategy, you can just tell that sometimes a driver will hold back things in reserve, and that is what is clearly on display. You're now seeing that the cat and mouse game starts very, very early on in the race. Someone will start leading proceedings, then one driver will get past, maybe on a start-finish straight, another one will get past, someone will then decide to maybe not give full power coming out of the corners. As Mads Rees now closes up, Ilian Brunsils going towards the outside of Lewis Gilbert. And now Mads Rees is closing, Mike van Vugt, Brad Barrett. Oh, now Dylan LaHaye, nearly put Bradley Barrett into the side of Fabian Bock. As now Mads Rees gets past Sean Butcher, and then Brunsils up the inside of Lewis Gilbert. Into the lead in turn 1. Rees trying to go towards the outside. Mads Rees Lewis Gilbert runs over the back bumper. Van Vugt up the inside. Lewis Gilbert down to the 3rd. Van Vugt. So it was a bit of... So what was happening there was that Brunsils was trying to go up the inside past Gilbert. Mads Rees decided he was going to stick his nose in. And then as they came through turn 3, Lewis Gilbert had absolutely nowhere to go apart from nearly riding over the back bumper of Mads Rees on that particular occasion. Sean Butcher, in the meantime, now down into P6. But if you look at the train of carts, I count at least 12 to 13, maybe even the top 15 with 2 minutes to go. I cannot believe I am saying this. It could be anybody's. When I tell you that the top 27 drivers covered by 9.8 seconds on the last lap. This is like all the little ducks in a row. As now, Gilbert up the inside of Mads Rees, up into 2nd. Now the charge for the victory begins. And the person with the bullseye on the back of the race overalls is Ilian Brunsils, leading the way in the 369. Mads Rees now in 3rd, Van Vugt in 4th, Pohlman, as there goes Butcher up the inside, I think, of Van Vugt into turn 7. Nicely done by the Brit. No, that wasn't, no, that was, I think that was Vincent France. My apologies there. So Vincent France was passed by Sean Butcher into turn 7. Lewis Gilbert now has to put everything, every fibre of the muscles in his body, the complete mental concentration to really, really go for it. And at the moment, Milan Coppens has got the fastest lap of the race. Gilbert is trying to close the gap. The gap now down to 0.54 of a second, and he was not quicker that time around. But whilst the 3 behind are battling, which is Pohlman, who's up into 5th, that's a great run Butcher just behind in 6th, Van Voost in 4th, Rees in 3rd place. But now, 35 seconds on the clock. How quickly can they get to the start-finish line from roundabout now, because they're running at 55-second lap times as Mike Van Voost gets past Mads Lees. Oh, does he? No, Mads Lees sends it up the inside of turn 8. Butcher goes round the outside of the entrance to turn 9 over Mike Van Voost, and I'm sure that Van Voost is like thinking, where did he come from? 10 seconds on the clock. How close is it going to be to the wire? They come through turn number 12. 2, 1, last lap. Ilian Brunsils. He made an announcement in February that he was looking to not come back to karting. He made a return. He has now made a statement. He was the Euro Trophy Open champion back in April 2019, over around about 16 months ago. As the train of karts being led, it's the Mads Rees train. Forget Jarno Trulli. Mads Rees is the cork in the bottle. And Sean Butcher, if he's lucky enough, gets an opportunity, could strike for 3rd position in the last few corners. But now into turn 9. Comes Ilian Brunsils from Bouvin Power, representing Belgium, down towards the right-hand sweeper at turn 10 for the final time. Being followed by the Dualroy Diamond Lewis Gilbert as Dave Fritson. Stay away from the track, please. I know he wants to see the action up close and personal. He's got a ringside seat, but Ilian Brunsils wins the Senior Road Tax final, and despite his best efforts, a great job nevertheless for Lewis Gilbert to take P2. Mads Rees rounds out the top 3 ahead of Sean Butcher, Mike Van Voost, Justin Pullman, Dylan LaHaye, Vincent France, Jules Castro, Milan Coppens, and we've had someone break down, I think, pretty much. That's the 383 of Vincent van Kerkhoven, who broke down after crossing the line in 16th position. So LaHaye finished in 7th, France in 8th, Castro, Coppens rounds out the top 10. Ahead of Teresa Babikova, Andreas Hebel, Fabian Bock, Kian Sang, Bradley Barrett rounds out the top 15, and what could have been a really good outing for Sodi Vitesse here this weekend was running in the top 4. Vincent van Kerkhoven 16th, Buzz Janssen, Storm Bra, Laura Zanen, Lachlan Robinson, in his final race at the BNL Karting Series this weekend, takes P20. Mario Sidler, Artur Horsch, Emily de Hoys, Manel Galofretona, Robin Knutsson, Anthony Boulou, Alexander Bentley, Jeff Machiels, Scott Westhovens, Flint Schuring rounds out the top 30. Rounding out the final finishing order, provisionally speaking, this weekend, Jordi van der Eyck in 31st, Clementine Benoit in 32nd, Victor Plateau, the 33rd and final classified finisher. We had, unfortunately, Ben Burgess park up at 14 laps completed, with Luca Lystra leading the race, unfortunately breaking down and was out on lap number 4.